Alrighty guys, so the 999 multi. So what I'm going to do, just for the sake of it, is I'm just going to do a whole separate video. I was thinking about it, and I'm just like, you know what, just for the sake of people just wanting to find a clear video that kind of goes through the 999 multi on who to go for, because it's probably at a point where people might have dupes on like the characters, so now we're realistically going more into the LR+2 side of things, although some of us are still going to be going for the initial copies. For example, with myself, I don't have the Mars, so the minute I get Mars, I'm happy. So that's kind of where I'm at. But now another thing which I'm just going to throw in there that I haven't mentioned, of course, these are the Grey Moors that are going to be available within the banner itself. I mean, you don't really need to concern yourself on hunting down Grey Moors themselves. Here's the thing, all of these Grey Moors that you guys are seeing are essentially free every month on a monthly basis. I mean, obviously go to Gordon and then destroy SR skill pages. You then get materials, you go into the shop, and then on a monthly basis, I think it's here, right? Yeah, on a monthly basis, you can get yourself one of these Grey Moors for free. So that's why I say you don't need to prioritize Grey Moors themselves, because they do come about in a free-to-play manner. So let's start things off. Let's go for the ones that everyone's going to be prioritizing, the high priority ones. So that's easily going to be the ones that I've spoken about many times. It's going to be the Tank Boys, it's going to be Lotus himself. Now again, this will lead into some of you guys maybe wanting to go for the LR+2s, so we'll go into that. So of course with Mars, I mean, overall he's just an amazing tank. Obviously if you do want to LR+2 him, then you do get that 5% reduced damage taken, which makes him even more of a tank, shall I say. And then of course heading over with Lotus, his LR+2 makes it so that he's got 25% chance to inflict 10% reduce all attack. Now this is nice to have with the first skill, right, because of course you've got reduced mobility, so it's just an additional bonus. I mean, the percentage is pretty low, but overall if you do manage to get it off, it does just help out in the long run. And then of course Radis, with a tank, you do want to have that taunt, and he does have that taunt. It's on his LR+2, so that's kind of how we're looking. Now when it comes to the characters themselves, again, everyone should have Lotus. If you do have my LR+1, then maybe you want to consider getting that attack, reduce all attack. That's completely fine. Now when it comes to the tanks themselves, I would say Mars over Radis, just because how helpful Mars is in an overall state, due to the fact that he pulls taunt, he's got stun, AoE stun on the combination. If you have Lotus, which majority should have, then essentially you're giving yourself that plan B speed down, because of course these boys do work extremely well together, of course, so there's that benefit. Radis on the other hand, now that we've got Noel, and he will slowly make his name known within the game now, the barrier meta is going to be a thing. Having that taunt being played from his passive can also ruin the opposing teams, or even in a PvE perspective, make it so that he's the focus fire, which is what you want from a defense unit. And plus on his second skill, again, that defense plus on everyone is pretty nice to have. So yeah, Radis is slowly going to be making his name known now that Noel's a thing, and barrier play is going to be cancerous, but as time goes on, we'll be able to combat that. But he's still going to be such a solid character to have. There is a Julius, Noel, and Radis team, which I'm sure many of you guys are going to be utilizing. So that's kind of where we're at right now. But as of right now, just make sure you've got your Mars on lock, and then after that you can expand to Radis himself. But essentially these three are going to be the characters which a lot of people should be focusing on and getting, and maybe investing into, so that you get their LR+2s. Again, it really comes into how many dupes you have of these characters, of course, but I think in the way it is right now, yeah, Mars, Radis, and then Lotus. We'll do the next batch of characters, actually. We'll do it like that, make it easier. So we'll get William out here. Alright, so we'll start things off with William, of course. I mean, look, William is still one of the best supports in the goddamn game. Still providing that 45 so your whole team can tank. That second skill is just a full-on offensive speed and damage buff, which I absolutely love. So we'll keep that. Obviously, first skill is just that additional helpful for the team, making it so that the enemy is turned into a tree, so that way they lose their turn. If you get the RNG off, then it works in your favor. Counter attack right there, so of course that's going to work extremely well with your highest attacking character right there. So that's pretty nice. But when it comes to the LR+2, pretty much just grants him increased mobility, although it is a 30% chance. Now the thing about William is that he's already got a good enough speed. So that increased mobility, I mean, it's nice, don't get me wrong, because that's then making sure that he does get in next time round, right, as soon as possible. But I wouldn't say it's anything that you kind of need to work towards, like, now, if that makes sense. It's just an LR passive that you'll just come across and get as time goes on. It's not like a high priority type of deal. As a character himself, an amazing support, which if you do want, I would say go for, you know, I can't say not to. Hence why I say that even though I haven't put him with the high priority boys, you can class him as a high priority character because of how good of a support he is. but still a priority. We'll say that. So solid unit. Real, of course, a good unit when it comes to removing buffs, allowing you to do more damage, but more importantly, getting that AoE stunning off, which is beautiful. So of course, when it comes to Real himself, grants 7% increased damage when attacking a defender. So specifically targeting the defenders, not too bad, not too shabby. You know, weakening them down. More importantly, weakening goddamn Mars. As much as I want to say that this is nice, Mars just completely tanks it. I'm just sorry, he just completely tanks him. You know, Real is a debuffer, he's not an attacking unit, so there's that. Yeah, saying that, I would have preferred more of a debuff there, but regardless, you know, he's doing his part when it comes to trying to take down a tank. But yeah, not a bad unit to have. I mean, here's the thing about Real, you don't even need to get him into LR+2. Just by getting an initial copy, he does work decently well when it comes to PvP. PvE, you can make him work. I've actually done it before when it came into the subjugation boss, and again in just grinding in general, because of course his attacks are AoE, so he's beneficial in that part. So overall, a pretty solid unit to kind of prioritize if this is something that you're needing. So yeah, not too bad on that part. Got to give Real the respect there. When it comes to Sally, I'm sure, I mean, there's not really much I need to say. When it comes to her enhanced passive, grants 10% of max HP as HP recovery as a start of the wave. Okay, the thing about Sally, you don't need to LR+2 her. Simple as that. Her key role in the game itself is to enhance and provide all the buffs to the attacking characters. If you have Noelle or if you have attacking characters and you just kind of want to nuke and get on with it, whether it be PvP or PvE, you just need that one copy. So if you're lacking the support in the department of just full-on attack boosting, she's your gal. She's your gal. I mean, you got Gosh, don't get me wrong, but she's more in the line just to buff up the attack as well as give you crit and crit damage buff. So she's perfect for Noelle. She is Noelle's hand-on-hand partner right there. Alright, so that's the prioritized type of deal. Now, these last remaining characters you do not need to concern yourself with. I mean, Charlotte, here's the thing, you've already got the best out of her, right? Her skills are there, rocking and rolling. You don't really need to concern yourself with LR+2. Grants 2.5% increased damage dealt if there's at least one opponent with Mark. I mean, here's the thing, her unique passive. If her unique passive was enhanced passive, then yeah, at that point you might want to consider getting it to LR+2, because when a Mark is present on an enemy, inflict 20% reduced defense to them for 2 turns. So that's nice to have. But she's given for free, and that initial copy of Charlotte is all you need to make her work and make her such an amazing character, good character for PvE when it comes to farming, or allowing you to do more damage as well as PvP, so that way that Mark does truly benefit you the most. So that's why I've kind of like put her in the low priority type of deal. So there's that. But again, for the remaining characters, unfortunately, they're not, with where things are with the game and with where they lead to, they're not going to be as useful or needed and whatnot. So that's kind of why they're kind of being low priority. But you know, Jack, he's a decent blue attacker for a boss fight. You know, he's not too bad. If you set him up nicely with the second skill, you can go in and do some decent amount of damage. But we've got Julius coming, we've got Kiato coming in, of course. So we've got some nukers coming into play for the blue typing to take his lead. And of course, with the enhanced passive, grant 7% increased damage dealt upon attacking an enemy, inflicted continuous damage. So it's not bad, but there are characters that are going to be releasing that don't need that much investment to get the job done a lot sooner than how Jack will be. And plus, they'll be doing a lot more, like time 10 more damage to what Jack is doing. So that's why I'm saying you don't need to prioritize him. Nozel is just, I don't know, bro. I'm still waiting for another Nozel to come out in the game, because I've said it before and I'll say it again, his kit is just all over the place. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a fan of it. I really am not a fan of it. Wait, what's his enhanced passive? Grants 2.5 increase. What? Grants 2.5 increased damage dealt if at least one opponent is inflicted with a debuff. I don't want increased damage from you, my guy. What do you? Okay, yeah, Nozel. I'm sorry, I'm just not a fan of his kit. Yeah, I'll leave him be. I don't want to disrespect him anymore. Although I am praying for his seasonal character to be broken. Fingers crossed, whenever that will be, I don't know. Anyway, moving along to my boy Leo. Now, Leo did get buffed up on his second skill. I believe it's AoE rather than adjacent, although it still says adjacent, so maybe I'm wrong on that one, but I'm pretty sure he got buffed. But yeah, just life stealing going on. What's his enhanced passive? Just full on damage, fair enough. Yeah, yeah, unfortunately the damage output from Leo is just, it's kind of poor, I'd say. I mean, he does apply burn, so that can help out with the burn matter. Like, he's not too terrible. It's just where things are at right now. It's just not a character that you'll need and that will help you as of right now. So yeah, unfortunately we'll have to keep him on the low priority list. But that's kind of how we're looking with the character side of things. So of course these boys are going to be the ones to prioritize. Go for your account, see what characters you have, see what characters you don't have, see what characters are LR+1, so that way you can squeeze in that LR+2. Obviously these are then going to be the next. So you got the high priority, then got the priority, then you got the low priority. Oh, why am I not doing this? There we go. You got the low priority. Oh no, no, your priority. Then you got the low priority. There we go. Jack, Nozell, and Leo, and then of course Charlotte. She's just there to look pretty. There we go. All right.